beep, 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 beep. You know how excited I get when I've got a Jester special? Well, today we have a Jester special for you. Breaking news on this, the 20th of March. Absolutely breaking. Breaking wind. What have we got? Oh my. Oh golly. Oh gosh. Sit back. Pin your luggles. Get yourself a cup of tea. And a bicky. And get your head around this. The new report from the government seeks to end ineffective business EDI practices. The Independent Inclusion at Work panel has today published a report on the state of equality, diversity and inclusion EDI business practices in the UK. Okay, now I haven't read the full report and I'm going to cold read this bit for you because I already read just the intro paragraph. Right. Final report. Okay. Expert panel sets out how employers can move beyond ineffective diversity and inclusion practices. New research finds employers aren't properly equipped to implement EDI policies that are based on evidence and are resorting to ineffective, polarising practices. Review of the latest evidence finds high workplace spending on EDI initiatives but poor results and no understanding of what works and what doesn't. Appointed by the Business and Trade Secretary and Minister for Women and Equalities, Kemi Baddock, and composed of leaders in the private and public sector and advised by a leading Harvard academic. The panel has reviewed the latest evidence of how employers are making decisions about diversity and inclusion policies and practices. I think you should just remove it altogether. It's not necessary, but that's just me. This may achieve that. The report found many employers want to do the right thing, but are implementing EDI initiatives without an evidence base. And many don't know the impact these initiatives are having or whether they represent value for money. In a growing number of cases, particularly relating to positive discrimination and protected beliefs, the report finds that EDI interventions are proving to be counterproductive or even unlawful. Counterproductive or even unlawful. Counterproductive or even unlawful. Unlawful. Brilliant. Business and Trade Secretary and Minister for Women and Equalities, Go Kenny, said, discussion around diversity and inclusion at work are often bogged down by performative gestures. This government wants to ensure employers are doing EDI in a way that doesn't undermine meritocracy and aligns with our equality laws. Oh, jubilous day. Oh, this is great. This is just great. I sincerely hope that businesses will take time to read this report so that it becomes an important step in helping them achieve more inclusive and productive workplaces. The report found that employers have faced barriers such as a lack of accessible data on EDI interventions that work and polarised EDI debates. It also found many employers are not using data to make EDI decisions and are misapplying equalities legislation. We're coming! In order to continue to lead on the global stage, it is imperative that British business capitalises on the very best of British talent, wherever that talent is to be found. Let's hear it for meritocracy. It's the only thing you see. Chair of the panel, Pamela Dow, COO. What's a COO? It says coup. Of Civic Future said, it has been a privilege to work with such expert colleagues, united in the goal of fairness and belonging in the workplace. Our aim is to support leaders in all sectors to spend time and money well. The insights from our wide discussion show how we can build a useful evidence base, track data, improve confidence and trust, and reduce burdens for organisations across the UK, with the key word being they reduce burdens. You're God. It's the way it's written. It's coded, right? It's coded. LinkedIn data, I wouldn't trust them with anything. LinkedIn data from 2020 found that UK employs almost twice as many EDI workers as any other country. Business has been spending money on this shite. Oh, Lord Almighty. Why don't they pay their employees more? Stop fanning about with this rubbish. A CIPD survey, I wouldn't trust them either, from 2022 found only 25% of employers said they consult data before new inclusion and diversity activity is planned. They're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping some of it sticks. That's not business. It's not business at all. Oh. And 25% said most of their EDI work is reactive, citing social and political events. So somebody dies, George Floyd, whatever it was, that happened with BLM and their grift. And then the next thing, whatever it is that comes along, some trans person was misgendered on a bust. That kind of thing. The review recommends... The review recommends that the government can best support organisations by providing the tools to assess the strength of evidence and data on what works. You think? This allows leaders and managers to choose practices with proven impact. Choose mine. I've got it. You want your employees to think clearly about this? Come and talk to me, because I've got it. The winning mindset for business. You want it? I've got it. Right? They provide the tools to... Right, here we go. So it allows leaders and managers to choose practices with proven impact and stop spending time and money on nuggatory? What's that mean? I've never heard that word before. Or counterproductive initiatives. They're all counterproductive initiatives. The review also recommends that the government can also help employers better understand their legal duties in light of recent rulings. The government is considering introducing a presumption against external EDI spending and increasing ministerial scrutiny of EDI spending, while streamlining EDI training and HR processes with a view to getting value for the taxpayer. The government notes this report and will draw on relevant findings as part of our own review. Hey, you EDI, DIE, DEI, whatever you want to call yourself, you damn equity-pushing Marxist, communist nonsense merchants, we're coming. I'm ready and waiting, by the way, Kemi and the rest of the government. If you want a woke finder general, I'm your man. Get me a pointy hat. So I can do a Matthew Hopkins. I have to learn to impersonate Vincent Price, would I? She is a witch. This is choice. Right, so the review is drawn on academic research surveys of business and case studies of good and bad EDI practice. Drawing together their review of the latest evidence and data, the panel has developed a framework for employers with 5 criteria for success. 1. Gathering evidence systematically and comprehensively. They're going to like it. Why are we doing this? Well, #be kind. Well, hang on a minute. Have you done your systematically and comprehensive data gathering? What's that? They're going to be feud if you met your average EDI person. There's, thick as a cart horse's fetlocks. Here we go. Reviewing intervention and processes regularly. Putting evidence into practice. They're screwed. Widening diversity of thought. And experience. Hallelujah. 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 And widening diversity of thought and experience. I couldn't be happier. That's not lived experience, by the way, you nut jobs, right? Restoring the importance of clear performance standards, high quality vocational training and excellent management. Here we go. This is the beginning of sorting out my profession, right? Which is filled with damned cowboys. This is the start. It begins. I'm so glad, because I'm not a cowboy, right? It's that simple. I'm not, okay? I'm thorough. I'm driven by what I think will work, and I'm driven by bringing people together to celebrate competence, meritocracy, and success. That's what I'm driven by. This is just so good, right? So good. Quote, businesses invest in diversity and inclusion because they can recognise its potential to support company performance and growth. Yes, I've always said that, right? It's a friendly visitor. We should celebrate our successes in this field. It's a friendly visitor and build on that with critical thinking skills instead. That's the way to do it. They want their investment to have the biggest possible positive impact, so will welcome the prospect of an improved evidence base that could help them make informed choices. And that was Matthew Percival, thank you Matthew, from the CBI Future of Work and Skills. He's a director there. That was his response. The Inclusion at Work panel was a commitment in the landmark Inclusive British Action Plan. The milestone cross-government strategy, spearheaded by the Minister for Women and Equalities, set out 74 steps government would take to tackle unjust disparities, promote equality of opportunity, not equity, and encourage aspiration. Aspiration. Bring it back, right? Not your, he's moaning miserable hard left nonsense. Bring back aspiration, meritocracy, experience, facts. Oh, here we go. I'm so happy I could shit. Last April, Kemi Badenoch announced we had completed 32 of the actions, including publishing the first ever guidance to help employers measure ethnicity pay gaps in the workforce in a rigorous way, and the final progress update report on the remaining actions will be published in the spring. Ta-da! Right, so all you EDI morons out there and you diversity devils, we're coming, right? Up your game, right? You can't up your game. You won't be able to up your game because you're not creative. You're parasitical. You're not about meritocracy. You're about weakness. Right? You're not about experience. You're about lived experience and own truth. We're coming, kids. Get your crash helmets on. The game is afoot. See you later from a very, very delighted Jester.